seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Seconds. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Puck!
Seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
League's assassin.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Upper division is always a treat, and today extra. So we have Team Nigma going up against Team Tundra, and this series is a must-win for both of these squads. So everything on the line here at Dreamleague Season 14, powered by Intel, and we are ready for the draft of this first game. We're joined by Purge to help us break it down. Here still also with T-Governor and Kyle, and here we are. We have the openings already. What do you want to say, Kyle?
I was just going to say, before we got into the draft and started breaking that down, I just need Purge to undo that last top button. I think you got too many buttons there. One more undone.
What? Do you want 2 undone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
nice
yeah.
T-shirt, solid T-shirt.
Now we're cooking.
All right, let's talk Dota then.
Yeah, well, Beastmaster Nyx, I like to see it. We have Nigma with something for mind control that can actually play up-tempo and aggressive, and it'll, in theory, do well with effectively anything they could possibly pick for Weeha or Miracle, the Shadow Shaman, Puck. Pretty standard openers, let's be real.
Yeah, so pretty much what we're seeing here is the development of when a meta gets to a point where it's kind of been optimized until someone wants to really break out. The Puck, Coddle, Earthshaker, and Nyx, they're the key 4 heroes right now. Tundra, they have the first pick, they go for the Puck. Therefore, Nigma, they want to go for the Nyx. You have to go for a Shaman or that instant lockdown to deal with the Nyx. And then to punish all of this, the Beastmaster counters the Puck and the Shaman, the idea of it. So it's don't be surprised if you see these combination of heroes coming in this order in other series to come.
I feel like if this is Team Secret, though, they're going to just take Beastmaster into the Nyx. And that's the thing that confuses me a bit, because if you can come out of an opening with Puck Beastmaster, I don't care if the Puck has to be relegated to 5. Fada will play it.
That's true.
And I think that combo of heroes is just too damn good.
That's
I agree with that. In some ways, like both of their second picks kind of cover themselves. Like Shaman is good against Puck 2 for the instant hex, and Beastmaster would have been good against Nyx.
But I do love these bans from Nigma, though, identifying the key reasons why Tundra was able to, of course, win in most of their series so far. The Shaker, you know, we need to really beat on it too much.
Please, I can't even make the joke, honestly. We all know why Shaker's good. I'm really happy they banned the Wraith King. So far, Skeeter's demonstrated like he's a game winner on a couple of heroes. So far, I've really only seen him shine on Ursa, PL, and specifically Wraith King. But I would argue that his PL is not really at that same level, but nothing is. Like the way this team plays around Wraith King, it allows for so much. What? What's so funny?
Nothing, I don't know.
Watch the draft. I also really like
But just
seeing...
always comes to you whenever you start walking around the desk. That's probably what he's laughing at.
Oh. I love this visual, though.
Exactly, pushing.
The squad all together. Reminds me when Lands were a thing.
Good old times. Seems like forever ago. Oh wait, it was forever ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Almost
look at we
a
and
year.
GH having a look more. Hey buddy, we're about to play the game of Dota together. Yay!
Dude, I swear he just looks so cuddly. Like I really think if anyone's listening from the organization, hit up Build-A-Bear Workshop. It is perfect. We would make a fortune.
You suddenly in on the right.
Oh,
I'm sure you'll get a cut. Yeah.
yeah, you know, I'll say my 10% for the,
All right,
for the
Nigma
idea.
banning. They're banning out CM, the one of the Beastmaster counters in lane. The other ones that we've seen utilized well were carries. Troll Warlord is relatively effective at punishing boars, and who's the other one? Enchantress is the other huge one that a lot of teams have been banning earlier than CM even.
It would be interesting if they kind of value that Enchantress ban, because some teams they like letting it go through just to be able to know it's coming and you just have a kind of an easy game to play into it.
Fada is very movable. He moves.
Yeah.
Oh, he just settled down.
Oh,
But
look.
he's very animated because he like there's obviously discussion going around for the heroes that they're banning. But it's interesting to.
I think when Nigma already has a Nyx Beastmaster opening, you can kind of feel the idea of the game they're going to play. Wee's going to be on this active hero, and it is going to push Miracle into that super hard carry, and he will eventually win the game like Nigma likes to play. So that's where they're kind of trying to discuss what are we planning on picking, and so what is that big kind of boss call we need to ban? Do we think of like a PL, for example,
How about Lycan?
and they go for the troll?
I mean, it's not really a Enigma hero. Miracle, typically not a fan of it throughout his career, but I would always be afraid of a Lycan Beastmaster combo.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That is clever. I like that. Have a whiteboard behind you, and everybody obviously wants to read all the whiteboards, but this one just says follow, and then.
And for every Twitch Prime, he'll write your name up there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that.
You had this up last week, I think, as well. I thought it was pretty
Rax
cool.
underscore.
Dota 2 try
Only
We need a
hard.
penmanship was better.
Yeah.
It would be a little bit more obvious. Nair.
Daily.
Thanks, Nike.
What does it say on the bottom right of the board? Ken. Out.
It's a tough
No.
tag to remember, though. Perhaps I'm going to suggest he changes it to really
What,
memorable.
rank
like,
9?
No, like keeping it 9 or
Just 9.
just 9.
I'm sure that just 9 is taken.
What about just 9? Just 9.
With 2 T's on the just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Cool branding.
Then people are gonna think he's named Justin.
Oh, Nigma actually ban out the Lycan.
They did get the inch. I mean, yeah, I love the Lycan ban. If you're not willing to pick it, just get rid of it, especially because you have an Ix. So these Necro 3 heroes become value. You're okay playing into Enigma because you have the Nyx Assassin, though I wouldn't be surprised to see Tundra pick it up here, and you're pointing at something.
No, I just like the fact that Nigma, because they are second pick, they instantly take the Enchantress themselves, therefore they don't have to waste a ban on it, and it just allows them to play out their draft without any too many complications, and that's why I think Fada was giggling a little bit, because he was like, oh, actually, they block picked it. Cool, we didn't want it anyways. It's kind of that idea, potentially.
I really do like watching Crow play the Ench. Him and Puppy and No-Tail specifically, I think are just, they demonstrate why they're better than their competition on the 5 role when they're able to play these creep heroes. These heroes that effectively can influence lanes however they choose to, but they've also just been experts at them since like legitimately a decade ago. I'm pretty sure Crow played this at TI1.
Yeah, I am very happy that Team Nigma is doing something different. We have not seen Enchantress picked by them this DPC league, and so far they've only picked Nyx Assassin once, which was for Kuro. So we're going to see GH on something a little different this time with the Nyx Assassin, probably going to him with Kuro taking the Enchantress up.
Yeah, the nice thing here from Tundra, they had the confidence to pick Skidder's hero very early. They'd already seen the lane that they're playing into in the position 5. So the instant PA pick, it plays really well into Beastmaster in lane. You always have that disconnect when the slow comes onto you, but you can kill the boar as well. And Nigma, when they respond with this Void Spirit, it's not like a PA killer. So this is where Tundra, not only have they shown an early carry pick, they're going to be able to cover themselves in the draft. Of course, you have to consider the fact that Miracle does have the ultimate last pick, but at this point, you should be able to narrow down what your draft can't deal with, especially when you have 2 picks in a row to go. The Pangolier is now a soft cover for these illusion heroes that they're maybe picking.
Bloodseeker immediately, as expected. Good stuff.
And Pango flex pick as well. As 9 is obviously very, very good at the Pango mid, but 33 might also pick it up. Though.
I wouldn't mind a Pango mid here. I'm pretty sure you do quite well against the Void Spirit. You're going to trade very effectively with the disarm procs. And I love 9 Pango. The team fight becomes pretty nuts.
Yeah.
They really need a counter push as well. That was the other thing they were missing. Not very safe for PA to do it, obviously. Puck can do it better if he's a core, obviously, but if Nigma does group and push, they would have needed that. And it just gives them really solid, like, early mid-game team fighting. Once Pango hits 6, like, Enchantress doesn't look as scary as well. They can deal with the Necros just rolling through them, so made a lot of sense to pick. They fear the Bloods or the Grimstroke mid. Or 5.
Does Pada play Puck? I would imagine he does.
Yeah,
he used
he
to
does.
play
He
mid,
does.
so yeah.
He used to, yeah.
It's actually something he's probably, I think only Secret will take a Puck this early and be, maybe they're happy it's 5. Like they want it to be there, and that's what they think of it when they first pick it. And that really does date back to his time as a mid player. Remember, when Fada first swapped over, he was playing all these heroes he used to just play offlane. There was a lot of Jakiro.
That's with every player that changes role. They kind of have this period where it's like, do I really want to change role? Okay, let's just play the heroes I'm used to.
Played 5 Veno for a little bit, and I was like, I don't know about this, but it's like,
Gonna try it. For Tundra, I'd love to see them with like an Abaddon or a Brewmaster, where Nigma has pretty much presented that their entire draft will be Miracle and 4 lads enabling him. Brewmaster pretty much counters that kind of philosophy to the end of days.
Get rid of the Ursa. I don't see what's really left for Miracle in this pool. I think, like, you have the Beastmaster. It's playing into a PA, so they could just go for something standard, but I don't like Jug or Lifestealer.
You don't like Slark either? He plays frequently.
Not really. I want it to be something that, like, kills towers, takes map control. You know, the rest of the lineup is kind of geared to skirmish and find pickoffs. You'd like a hero that kind of amplifies that idea.
Well, again, they need to see what Tundra picks first before you kind of put themselves in that position.
Yeah.
And Tundra, they need to understand, like, is it the Pango offlane? Is it mid? I would love to see an offlane pick here.
It's funny. I remember in the short time I played with Fear, I think I would drive him a little nuts because I'd be trying to think about what we were going to last pick, and he's like, let's see what they pick. Then decide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we don't really rush things, do we?
So they go for the Darkseer, so if it is also a super hard carry, they can always create illusions of it.
Yep. Yeah. Puck 5, Pango mid, PA off, or PA safe. Could also be Puck mid, but
I would rather see...
it could be Dark Pango 4.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. I would rather see the Pango with the Darkseer in lane, put the Puck mid, charm, and just go catch.
I like that.
They can do whatever they want.
Lane.
That's the beauty.
They have a lot of flexibility.
So for Nigma, what is the... like
Not anti-mage.
Morphling to some degree with the E-Blade blow up, but against Puck, it's
Decision is made. Everybody's going to their chairs.
And they've only got 12 seconds left. I hope they got a choice. Don't want to random now. Mind Control's happy. He's like, oh, we're going to pick this hero.
We at the back also smiling, happy.
Miracle's not happy, though. He's like, why am I getting this hero?
Why am I getting...
Yeah, there it is. He's like, what? He's like, oh, guys.
Why am I getting...
Everyone else was excited other than Miracle there.
Wait, there's also still the chance that it will be Razor for Weehawk, because he played that earlier as well.
Void Spirit safe lane?
No, I think I mean, maybe they're going to run aggressive tri-lane and just try to end the game early, get a lot of map control early. I don't know, guys. I am not
Void
the analyst.
Spirit for Miracle. Wow, this is, talk about taking a standard draft and just flipping it on its head. That is
They're basically playing for that early Beastmaster timing, that group up where you have the Ags on the Void Spirit, you got the annoyance of the Razor plus the Necro. They'll try and end the game. You spoke about aggression being the key factor in this series, and this is what Nigma's doubled down.
Razor's just not good against these cores. Like, you hate playing against Darkseer PA. How do you keep a link on any of these 3 cores? They all have escape mechanisms.
They're playing for the Beastmaster timing. I rate the kind of the confidence Nigma has to try and execute this, and it's refreshing seeing that this new look. So yeah, no, I'm not knocking it. Of course, Tundra has the scalability in the eventual, team fight in late game, but if Nigma can do this in this small window that they have, why not?
Do you believe in it, Purge?
I'll knock it. I mean, I think it's cool that they're trying to hit this like timing window thing, but like And yeah, I guess when Void Spirit gets a faster Ags than normal by Slate, like the silence is amazing against the Puck, the Shadow Shaman, pretty good against like PA Pango. Like they have some matchup advantages, but like I just can't help but think that Tundra is not just going to like delay the game and then play a longer game and then just win convincingly at 50 minutes or something. So I don't trust it.
Don't trust it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Purge. We'll come back to you at the end of the game, Kyle.
They need good lanes, like real good lanes. I fear for them because every hero is going to need a BKB. How does Razor itemize for this game if he's not super far ahead? Because he's going to need armor. He needs a BKB. He's going to want some item to progress himself. It just feels like as long as Tundra don't lose all 3 lanes, can play with a little bit of pain, just fine.
Yeah, I guess the key thing Tundra has demonstrated that they can keep games going quite long. They've pretty much always kept the games like 2-1. Like they've played, I think, the 70-minute game or something.
Yep, the secret game with the Giants Ring of the Red King. Yeah,
so
that was them.
If they can install that idea and not get kind of baited into these early fights, they should be fine. But if they fall victim to the aggression and the need to react every time, then I can see, of course, Nigma rolling it. But
Zoom camera, mind control. He's the man that dictates the pace of this game.
All right, let's focus on the tempo that Team Nigma can set and on mind control specific for this first game of the series. Let's head over to our commentary team of Cap and BSJ for the game.
Boy, it seems like BSJ that our panel did not agree with Nigma's choice of heroes. So what do you feel about it? Is we're probably going to get some very early action here. Both teams
makes a
running into each other.
Razor's such a boring hero, man. I think that's why we don't see him very often. I don't think he's as bad as his pick rate would say, but who wants to play Razor? They gave him a bunch of reworks, and then they just made his third ability bonus move speed. Who wants that? But he does remove PA as a win condition, because even though PA does have a escape mechanism against the Link, you don't want to blink into fights really ever. So Razor, I'm looking for Weehaw to basically be positioning himself in fights such that PA never really feels comfortable committing. But the issue is if they eventually get enough burst damage to just threaten the Razor without the PA committing, then his game plan becomes really hard. But word on the street is that Miracle might be playing a little bit more mid as we go forward in this tournament. So this may be something we see more of with Weehaw safe lane and Miracle on heroes such as the Void Spirit.
And where is that word on the street coming from?
Hey man, I can't disclose my stories. You know, I just
okay, I can respect it.
Let's just say going into this draft, I was under the impression Miracle was going mid, and so it was pretty funny to hear panel be like, "What? Void Spirit carry?" You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see how Miracle does. Like, why do you think there is this changeup?
I think this patch carry is really passive. Most games you have to wait until at least 15 minutes or so to feel really impactful in the game. I just don't think it necessarily fits the way Miracle likes to play. Like, yeah, he doesn't mind playing the anti-mages and the Medusas. He obviously does just fine on those heroes. But I think he's much better on like the Ember Spirits, the Void Spirits. Like that's what his comfort zone lies. And I think that's what they need in the team more so if that's a permanent change they're going to make.
Okay, so you think this is very much a personal preference? Because the panel was talking about how Nigma have tended to drafting these harder carries for Miracle and kind of playing a style that is sort of for Protect 1.
Yeah, I think that while Miracle, like I said, can play that way, I don't know. Watching him, you can kind of just tell he flourishes in games where he's like the PL with a defusal at 11 minutes and he's battled. You know, even though PL is a hard carry, he wants to be participating that early on in the game. And even as heroes like Anti-Mage and Medusa, you can do that sometimes. But I think if with this patch specifically, the mid lane is just so active. And I think Miracle's kind of proven he can just play whatever.
Maybe a bit of frustration boiling over after losing 3 series in a row. They lost to Viking GG, Secret, and then OG most recently. So Nigma probably feeling like something's got to change up a little bit here. And we'll see if this does the trick against Tundra.
Yeah, Miracle's doing well so far. Ahead by 5 CS in the mid lane. Void Spirit seems to pretty much free farm in like 90% of his matchups, which something about that is a problem to me.
9. He's doing all right for himself in CS, but not amazing. See what happens when it comes down to the power runes, though, because both those heroes are going to be very effective if they get the right rune.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first rotation from the mid laners will dictate a lot of this game because all of these side lanes are very volatile.
Oh my
People
goodness,
can-
you see
yeah.
this? Poor
I
Nine.
did.
He hit Miracle like 7 times without his passive going off. There was, I think, a very small chance that maybe he could have actually killed Miracle or at least threatened him a little bit. Instead, Swashbuckles up,
dead.
he's not going to get it off. First blood goes to Miracle as Nigma switching things up and putting Miracle back in the mid lane, and it feels like he's back home.
Yeah, Miracle read his horoscope. He's feeling lucky. He knew that it was written in the stars that was going to be no proc for Pango there.
Fiverr. TP's all the way back home there. The lane is pushed in, so they may not be able to punish the Darkseers so much. Darkseer Shadow Shaman, that's kind of a weird lane.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. The panel said they would have liked the Pango 4 position more. I guess they like the Darkseer for the game plan. It is somewhat of a steroid for PA, which makes Skeeter's game more potent in the mid game, even if he has more farming items. And also, it's the team fight aura builder you lacked. Can potentially build like Crimson Guards or the Guardian Greaves against the Beastmaster, which most heroes often struggle, even carries, tank through that in the mid game. So that could be really nice for them.
Regen rune for Miracle. Not getting any help from his supports on this side. Fada pretty much just been stuck in lane, and it seems like our Shadow Shaman wasn't able to make the kind of rotation to secure the power rune. So Miracle, after that first blood, he's going to hold a clear advantage in this mid lane, and it's not looking great in some of the other lanes either, where Nigma is slightly ahead in every single one of them.
Yeah, I have to imagine Razor, even though it's not the most standard pick, we've seen some potent 10th pick Razors, and since he's a ranged hero with decent wave clear, he should pretty much just free farm against Darkseer. So if they know they can pick a hero that eliminates the win condition for the opponent team and also have a secured lane, it seems like a pretty decent pick to me.
Kuro standing toe-to-toe against Fiverr here, trying to challenge for the bounty rune. As a result, he'll miss out on both of them here. Kuro's going to come right back. The ward just being placed, though. Sees it coming and back up accordingly. Seems like Kuro was hoping to get the rotation from Miracle a little bit sooner. Miracle may be focusing on trying to use his advantage as he's got that level 6 over 9 right now. If he can kill this Pango again, setting yourself up for some serious success, especially against 9, one of his signature heroes in the Pango that fared so well for him in NA. It looks like he did try and go for it, but 9 barely managed to get his level 6 here, and he's doing some good amount of damage to Miracle. Miracle is actually going to die.
Close. He laid the Ether Remnant, and that Pangolier roll went off maybe 0.1 seconds before it laid. That was so pins and needles for both heroes.
Close call, but this now swings that mid lane matchup that was going very well the other direction. Fiverr, unfortunately, not a good situation for him there. Keep running, you take more impetus damage. Don't keep running, and the Razor keep chasing you down. So he loses life there in the
That
top
is
lane.
interesting synergy there, actually.
Yeah.
Which way would you like to die? You know.
Well, he opts to give it away to the carry, which may not be the best idea. They're immediately going to see if they can make a go on the Miracle here. Just making use of the support rotation. He fills up the bottle. Maybe we can get some damage on Miracle. If not, no harm, no foul.
The funny part about that is how often do you think people lane against Enchantress Razor as we see a rotation bottom from 9?
Yeah, and this is going to be a big rotation if they can actually stay in front. Look at these body blocks here from Fada. The Rolling Thunder is going to ensure the kill here as somebody's got to take it, and it will be 9. Claims the last hit there. Skeeter had to play the back line there as he'd already taken so much damage. In fact, they're still trying to get aggressive on him as the Miracle is going to be coming over here. The Impale actually dodged by Skeeter. Really good sidestep, and the silence went out. Miracle's still going to be able to chase him down, though. Skeeter falls. Miracle still has one more astral step to make use of. You can see he doesn't want to use that ability if he doesn't have to. Instead, pops the dissimulate to be able to get away.
It seems really nice to have a mid laner that can rotate and kill Beastmaster for 4/6. Any ultimate base mobility spell is really nice because the boar makes it difficult to close the gap. So Pangolier makes a lot of sense in the draft coming out from Tundra, as Fiverr is going to eat the dust top, and I feel like this lane synergy between the Razor and Chantress. Oh, okay, I don't have any time to talk bottom. We got some more stuff going on.
Yeah, they're gonna fight again. They're not done with it. They want to kill this Beastmaster a second time before he can hit his level 6, but Miracle's still been hanging around, so Tundra can't exactly go full hog here and take a battle. Instead, they two mid laners.
Top, meanwhile,
yeah. Oh, that last hit was not quite enough. Weehaw wanted to back away to make sure he was safe as Fauna TP'd in. So, Hastrun, pop by Miracle here as he sees Biver. Biver, man, he's having a rough go of it this game between the Razor lane, then he shows up mid, tries to get a little bit of experience, and almost immediately dies.
Do you attack with static link when you're disabled?
That is a good question.
I actually don't know. I'll keep an eye out for it. I'm curious if it's really good against Shaman for that reason.
Yeah, that might actually be a very real thing here as 9 gets on a killing spree. Find Curl. Tried to plant a deep ward there. And
the way they're playing, Weehaw's pretty much in a 1v1. So I'm curious if they're going to make a little bit of a lane swap to start the game, if this was kind of their intent. Just because he's safe lane doesn't mean he's not getting the mid lane treatment, as Miracle is just running around the map and Weehaw's enjoying the fruits of this 1v1 with 2 solo kills, or 1 solo kill with 1 pretty much free kill handed to him. The beauty of Razor is when you get kills, you don't usually have to invest many resources. With a lot of other safe laners, you have to use a lot of health and mana to trade in order to get these kills. But with Razor, you're just chasing people down and they have no choice to fight you back.
Yeah, and as a result, he hasn't left this safe lane. He's going to do so now, as he did get a good read. Kuro, he went out there and died, but he did get some very aggressive wards, and those wards give Weehaw the information, all the information he needs to be able to know this is coming.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And as a result, they'll actually take the safe lane tower first on the side of Nigma.
Yeah, after all that battling bottom and you just see no Tundra heroes bottom, you feel pretty confident, even if you didn't have a ward, that they're doing something.
Yeah, the worst thing you could do as a carry, right, Brian, is to still be in your safe lane at this point in the game. I believe you like to call it dead lane.
I believe it's really bad if you end up dead there in that lane.
Rolling on out. Weehaw, he's going to start taking away some of the damage from 9 while he's stunned up, but he's not going anywhere. It looks like he is just going to be controlled up and pretty easily killed. A very big kill, as we were just talking about. Weehaw making that nice read, avoiding a death on a carry that he's been free farming, and then all of a sudden he's caught next to the enemy team's triangle. What's with that?
He's got overly aggressive for the bounty rune at 10 minutes. His inner mid laner channeling, and maybe a little bit too much. As I did learn, you don't attack with static link when you are disabled. At least that was what I learned from that engagement. So that's a good confirmation. Thank you, Weehaw. He was just testing it out for us.
Yeah, very, very nice guy of him. Biver.
He heard me.
We're gonna watch him receive his 4th death. Whew. I got a feel for that, man. He's just not, because Shadow Shaman needs some levels. You got to have some space to work with this hero. You got to at least get your level 6 so you can roll up and hit that mid lane tower or something. But he just hasn't been able to get any space.
I just can't believe the Shadow Shaman that was laning with the Darkseer feel like it's really having any impact this game.
Top tower is under attack.
Your sarcasm, very on point, Bia. Well, 2,000 net worth lead for Nigma still, as they start pressuring the top tower now. An off-lane tower push. Don't normally see that too often, but I guess they do have it. It's kind of free with an Enchantress and Razor. Should be able to get themselves out. Expectations come on by.
Yeah, really good map distribution from Nigma. They already took the tower for Beastmaster's lane, so he wants to farm up that book 3 as soon as possible. He's just going to push in the lane safely with his boars, while Miracle's going to occupy the mid lane quite survivably as a Void Spirit. So Razor, pretty much the only hero that lacks the ability to solo kill, as well as is potentially vulnerable, so they're dedicating the supports to that lane. I don't think that push was as much about taking the tower as it was just prompting a reaction from.
Sure. It also helps being able to just play around that triangle area, right? It's where a PA wants to be able to AFK farm. We saw from the Tundra stacks, their focus on this game is being able to stack up a whole lot for this PA. She gets the Battle Fury, she farms a bunch of ancient stacks, and and goes from there. GH is going to find the opening here, just poking at the PA. Literally taps him and it tries to TP out, but the coil is there. GH has been caught and doesn't really have a way out of this one. All he can really hope to do is just buy some time, but not very much of that is left for him.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know. Did Skeeter steal his girl or something or what?
You know, he just really hates that blur mechanic. He wanted it to go away for a little while.
Reveal yourself, coward.
Let's see. Boots of Travel builds up for Miracle after the hit.
Quite a greedy build. He's basically playing carry from the mid lane. When we look at the itemization style of both players, we got a BKB rush on Razor. We got the Orchid Boots of Travel on the mid Void Spirit, quote unquote mid.
You know, I'm not trying to throw too much shade at Weehaw, but if Miracle's going to play the mid lane and also play the carry style build, what is there left for Weehaw to do?
Well, if you notice that, I think they really just want Miracle to be able to do what he did early on in the game where he went bottom and he played really aggressively on Pangolier underneath his tower, but then build to be a carry. You know, I think that's what they're going for. I can see it. It's not too far-fetched as they smoke up the top, looking to wrap around
Dire's middle
9 and
tower is
Viver.
under attack. Radiant's
They're going to reveal him. The Razor pops him out. He's immediately going to be spotted by the wards, but at the same time, 9 is going to be unable to get any abilities off thanks to that Orchid Rush from Miracle. It does cost Weehaw his life as he kind of threw himself on the fire line there just to be able to get the vision and information for the rest of his team.
That was a nice TP by 33. Surprised they reacted the way they did. Part of me wonders if you were supposed to just give it up, and then you see the rotation from 33 immediately net a kill on the carry. So obviously he knows far better the turn potential of their lineup. As 9, he is responding with Rolling Thunder, so they're gonna probably look to defend mid tower. They do have Roar though, pretty significant threat to Pangolier.
Vada accidentally hits the spike carapace here and is going to be chain stunned. Quickly kills 9. He's going to make sure he gets off the Rolling Thunder this time, but rolling at such a long distance away means that he doesn't really get much more than just one bump on GH before he has to call it quits. So 15-minute bounty runes are out. You can see Nigma doing a very good job of pressuring the map, which is kind of what their lineup has to do, right, Brian?
My life is here.
Yeah, the funny thing about this Razor is nobody wants to go there. The funny thing about the hero is he's basically like a Doom of the safe lane. You can't lane against him 1v1. You kind of just die or get bullied away. You have to gank him with 3 or 4 heroes. And the way Nigma is playing the rest of the map makes it so Tundra can't really dedicate the resources to boot Weehaw out. Every time I look at an engagement for Nigma, I look at Weehaw and he's just chilling top by himself. And I don't really know what Tundra's supposed to do about it.
Now, I've heard this conversation plenty of times from between Blitz and you. So you have the dead lane concept, right? Which is the carry doesn't want to go there. And then the original idea of the dead lane, according to Blitz, was off of Bulba and having dead lane heroes, aka heroes that you don't want to move into their lane to gank. Your Juggernauts, Life Stealers, heroes that when it comes to the risk-reward ratio, it's just not, it doesn't feel good to move into that lane. Yeah. And Razor's got to be a good example of that, right? A hero that is able to keep his safe lane and tower alive for quite some time and occupy this top area space just because it doesn't really feel that good to move up into that lane.
Yeah, it's all the heroes that trade really efficiently or represent solo kill threat on pretty much any hero in the game. You got Dooms, Necros, Timbersaws, Venos, Vipers. These are heroes that if you deal with them with one hero, it's usually just doom, literally, for that hero. So you either get to gank them as 3 or 4 or just never go there.
Oh, he doesn't get it off. Miracle instantly hits the Orchid as he Astral steps on top of him. Now it's not gonna pop just from that. GH will have to get his Vendetta hit in. That being said, 33 gets a really good wall out. If he'd only caught Miracle, it would have been even better, but sadly, the coil snap was not enough for Tundra to be able to take 2 kills for that. And Nigma may still try and strike here, though they know the Miracle's hanging out here. They've got this really nice ward set up right now, and I think they're just waiting for their opportunity to be able to catch him with some sort of disable. Weeha's going to come in and create a late chaos here with his fresh BKB. He's going to quickly run down Fiverr, who gets saved by the mech, but that's only going to last him an extra second or two. Vada also going to die by the wayside here as Nigma look to be able to take this tier 2 tower before the 20-minute marker.
Yeah, they're fully aware there's a ward there too. Miracle scouted with a remnant. Maybe he thought they had the book 3 nearby or something, but that was really good game sense by Miracle. He saw the Shadow Shaman walking up aggressively after having a Void Spear with an Orchid missing on the map. So he was pretty sure that they saw him or were ready to go on him, and he immediately dissimulated. If he had been caught at the start of that fight, it could have possibly been bad for Nigma, but instead they're just pinning Tundra underneath their own towers. That's really what it feels like. The kill potential of the Void Spirit Beastmaster, the scouting of the Nyx Assassin to be a +1 for any of these ganks, and then the Razor to deter anyone from farming alone in the other lanes.
Now, BSJ, we've seen a lot of games where a team feels like they are very far ahead and they will still win that game, but it takes them, I feel like it takes teams a solid like 15 minutes of control. Like maybe it's 2 Roshans, maybe it's just like controlling the map until you get a huge lead to actually close out the game. You feel like Nigma's oh, hold up, Skeeter, they're actually gonna go for this, but the Rolling Thunder was already out from 9. Problem is, he didn't hit Miracle right away, and Skeeter's already taken so much damage. He's trying to blink the way, but Weehaw is able to chase him down. Only still a bit of pittance of damage, but it'll be enough to be able to run down Biber, that's for certain. Meanwhile, 9 still hunting for that 1 kill, is gonna chase out to get it. Miracle finally does go down. The rest of Nigma quick to retreat here now that they've lost their carry/mid player.
Under attack.
Happy with just a 2-for-1 exchange, I'm sure.
I think the map has just been solved for these teams since they didn't change anything about it in 7.28. So I don't necessarily know if there's a better reason than just teams know exactly what to do with the map when they're winning by like 4,000 or 5,000 net worth. And it's just incredibly reliable to execute for these tier 1 teams that rather than taking anything off the beaten path, they're just gonna do the reliable, trustworthy, tried and true.
Okay, so then my follow-up to that is, do you think that Nigma, don't they have to speed things up a little bit just because they should be like, okay, PA is gonna out-carry us eventually, guys. We have to close this game out a little faster than most.
If PA with Battle Fury is allowed to hit creeps, yes, she will absolutely carry you. But notice there that they're just trying to push in all the lanes and then run at the PA. So if PA is getting consistently chased around the map, we saw with Miracle against OG when he was playing anti-mage that even though he was the late game win condition, he was just getting ran at all game. And that's pretty significant limitation on the farming speed of a carry. They're constantly having to be afraid. Even if they're not getting ganked at all times, if they have to consider going to that next jungle camp, they can't just freely walk to it because it's close by and going to give them some gold. So Skeeter, if he manages to get 2 or 3 items this game, Nigma could absolutely lose this game, no question. But that's the big if coming out, as they look like they're trying to line up their timings. Miracle, after going for this pretty greedy build, is going for a BKB. Mind Control is also going for a BKB. And then Weehaw's going to have this Soul Cuirass. So I'm guessing towards the end of this Aegis, they're looking to have all 3 of these items come out at about the same time. And that should be a pretty solid timing for them to be able to go high ground and at least take a lane of racks or 2 to severely limit the economy for Tundra.
I think it's always nice to be able to have these kind of 5 positions that we're seeing from Kuro. These 5s that can just kind of like run down a lane and push it a bit without any real inherent danger. And Kuro could back up if he wants to. Of course, he's currently trying to set the trap here. 9, they know what's coming. They see it off the sentry. 9's going to try and roll through as much as possible to be able to save his allies, but neither one of his supports will survive. And if he's not careful, he could get caught as well. Nigma clean up 2 and are just going to go for the full sweep here of towers in this top lane.
You know, I just realized that this Darkseer cosmetic 33 has, it really does look like a fluffy. And then he bought a fluffy hat. So I feel like he's really feeling his fashion sense today. I just noticed. I don't know if you noticed that.
Kyle, is that you? Hello?
Kyle?
What's going on?
Some random thing that has absolutely nothing to do with the game, Kyle? Looks like they're smoked up, ready to go. Skeeter doesn't have his BKB yet, but they see Nigma bottom, so they don't want to let them split up this official.
Yeah, and they got to catch him now if they want to go for it. He's going to be slowed down by the dagger.
He's so tanky.
He is very tanky, and they've got to kind of poke at him and immediately back away as soon as the BKB is used. They don't have anything to stop that TP out, though, so It's a slight punishment, but not really what Tundra was looking for. They would have liked some sort of team fight to kind of ease some of the pressure that's on the map right now.
It gives them control back of their triangle. So if they had not made that move, Nigma would have been pushing bottom lane and pushing in top lane, which means they just have nowhere to go. So at least it allows them to get out on the map, get a little bit of farm from the 2 lanes, maybe farm the tri-camp real quick. They stack up the Ancients for PA. It's probably going to be very close to his BKB. He's about 700, 800 gold off. So that's the kind of stuff where, I think a lot of high tier players, how they word it is, they can't be allowed to do this. You know, like they can't be allowed to play both side lanes, shut down our Ancient camps, and be pushing bottom tower. That's giving the enemy team way too much. Even if you don't get the kill, as long as you get rid of the guy controlling that area. Fado, though, he's...
Yeah, orbing in like that against the Boots of Travel Void Spirit is probably not that great of an idea. But as you said, it pushed them away from the triangle. They stacked it, they farmed it, they now have the BKB. So the end result is they do have a fighting item, and they can potentially win this high ground fight against Nigma as they approach the high ground, especially with 9 now putting that kind of damage. Miracle lost half his health to that one. He does have the Aegis, of course, and he may be trying to use it here.
Yeah, with the Weehaw having to back off with that BKB usage, his timing's a tad late. He's 300 gold off that AC. And that's a pretty big deal for this high ground push. That 10 armor swing in team fights. They're actually going to chase him down, force down their BKB.
Okay, now see if they can back away cleanly here. Mind control may still be caught. Of course, he's going to have to use his BKB up next. Does he have a TP? He does. He's going to keep running all the way across the river, and Tundra are not going to go for that chase. They choose to chill out and farm a little bit. Fada may be dying here. He does have 10 stick charges, but with a Void Remnant back, that will ensure the kill. And unfortunately, a Hex doesn't stop that hasty chicken.
Pretty insane itemization from 9. I love it. The Lotus Orb, it's good against the Orchid for himself. It's good against the Roar and the Static Link for the PA. Really enables Skeeter to carry this game once he hits his timing, so I really like that item.
Trying to help out Biver. They give him the whip. They tell him, get the hell out of here. What are you doing? 9. Oh, he's going to be saved by a huge play from 33 with that vacuum with a 3-man onto the wall. GH, they've already taken out the Aegis here, and if they can actually catch Miracle before he jumps away, but no, he gets the Dissimulate off just before Biver could catch him with the shackles. Sadly, it does mean that Miracle will get away scot-free here, but still, great save from 33, which could have been a disastrous fight if they lost 9 there.
And he's coming down with the Ags on Darkseer. That's going to be a lot of damage in team fights. Basically doubles the damage of Ion Shell and gives you two charges, so you're going to be able to Ion Shell that many more targets. Maybe your own illusions once you get the wall off. They definitely could make a comeback in this game despite being down by 9,000 gold. Like, they have the PA Battle Fury, Pangolier AoE controlled, Puck Coil, and the Darkseer Vacuum. They could blow Nigma up if they ever catch them out of position.
Oh, they caught him. Lead off with the Hex. Can they get the Shackle in time? They will. They just need one more little crit, and they've got him. Miracle goes down. Weehaw's going to man up here with his BKB, looking to be able to chase down Skeeter. Whip himself for the action movement speed. Should be able to find him. Yes, he gets the AoE. That's going to be enough, but now he is certainly dead as Primal Roar. Lotus Orb bounce back right back at you. Mind control. You may be caught as well here as he TP'd into this fight, so they could just low roll it if they want to. Mind control has no way to get out of this one, so big turnaround from Tundra. BSJ on point as always. You say they can make a comeback out of this, and that is just one iteration of it. A really good fight for Tundra.
Yeah, I just had to make sure I discerned myself from Kyle here.
True.
Gave you some Kyle vibes. Had to give a correct prediction as they... that was just so well played on the side of Tundra. Yeah, Skeeter goes down. I think that's one of the funnier fights I've seen where he's getting whipped by Razor and then he's getting whipped by the bullwhip of his teammate. You know, just Skeeter getting whipped all over the place. But at the end of the day, bringing down, I think the Razor is much more upset about dying there in terms of his power spike and timing moving forward throughout the course of the game than the PA. You know, the PA is going to respawn to some stacks. He's going to get his tier 3 items with that Ancient stack, one of the best feelings to stack if you can right before the new spawns. Gets the Orb of Destruction. I always say Corrosion now. Orb of Destruction. So that's going to be a nice little damage bolster for him. Once he gets level 20 on Skeeter, he's really hard to bring down. He's probably going to take the Blur Evasion against the Beastmaster summons, as well as the Enchantress Impetus and the Razor right clicks. And at that point, he's going to be a real problem if he gets the Deso damage item timing with that as well.
Oh yeah, we've gotten some massive upgrades. The Orb of Corruption, as you were saying, the effective HP of this hero is about to skyrocket. If he does get his level 20 and the Aghanim Scepter, you know, just a little boost of HP on a PA goes a long way when you're not dealing with any true strikes. So,
and a Paladin Sword if he really wants it, but I assume he's going to stick with the damage. He's got a lot of sustain from 33. He's almost got his Ags. Once again, that's also extra health.
my vent smoke up. It is going to break, and they immediately try and jump over to the side, but they miss. Vada was actually just plain old normal in lane. They didn't expect him to be there. They thought he was somewhere trickier. And 33 might still be able to catch him thanks to the Yule Scepter follow-up Impale. Nobody's really around here from Tundra to be able to bail out 33. He knows it too, so...
TP'd there? I'm actually curious. Maybe he had forced a couple Astral Steps because they had used the Nyx Impale plus Yules. Oh,
Yeah,
they TP on the Hawk. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
A
yeah.
miracle.
A nice little mobile bit of movement here.
Under attack.
And we'll be able to find Biver, looking to quickly execute him and get out, which is not quite enough damage. Whew.
Tower has fallen.
Yeah, the Lotus prevented the feedback damage from the Orchid proc.
Still gonna try and chase him down. The Void Red did, oh, at max range. Grabs him, pulls him right back to his doom. And this is...
That's so high risk, because if he doesn't manage to bring Biver down there, he's going to get hexed and probably die.
yeah,
So, got to respect the balls on this man.
that is the madness of Miracle. He likes for those... Cloak of Flames for Weehaw, at least found by him. I don't know if he wants it or not. Nigma, this is, I mean, they're up by 7K, but it is slightly concerning, BSJ, right? That this PA is getting so big, so far. I mean, if he gets that Deso, man.
Yeah, Nigma's heroes naturally play the map a lot better, but team fights, I definitely hand it to Tundra. So, Nigma ever overcommits or gets caught with their pants down for a few seconds, they will almost certainly get wiped very quickly. It's not like it's gonna be this long drawn out team fight where they're gonna be like, oh crap, they're chasing us down. That PA is just gonna get that vacuum battle fury cleave.
What do you think about this move from Tundra? Smoking to the other side of the map, the opposite side of the map of Roshan.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an oversight. I think they were trying to do what they were trying to do top earlier, where they're just trying to get out on the map. And by going bottom, it's probably more reliable based on the way Nigma was distributing their heroes, but then you just hand them a free rush. So maybe that was just a bit of an oversight, I have to admit. I don't think they intended to make that trade. They weren't like, we're going to get out on the map, but Nigma could have a rush. Especially when you have Darkseer, right?
Yeah, for sure. They do have very good team fight around that Roshan pit.
Radiant's current.
Razor?
They're going to try and jump Wee here and see if they can pop him real quickly. Now, he does have the Aegis, of course, but still. They catch him a second time. They're going to throw out the wards just around Weehaw. He doesn't have an easy way out of that one. Quickly kills the ward and runs away. Still, though, the Rolling Thunder, they managed to catch Miracle as he tried to jump in with the Astral Step. Now, Coil goes out. That's going to snap on a GH as well as Nine looks to be able to slow down even more heroes. They really want Weehaw. They know he has already used his BKB. Pulled back in by the vacuum. Nine goes for another. That's going to be Curl. Doesn't quite get the passive proc here, but still, the Orb of Corrosion, that's going to be slow enough for Skeeter to be able to catch up. They'll bring down the captain of Nigma. And things, as you were talking about, the team fight potential of Tundra's lineup, you cannot shirk at it. You cannot scoff it off. It is real and it is terrifying at this point.
Dire's middle tower.
I just think Weehaw's straight up disrespecting them by walking into that tier 1 tower without his team around. Tundra read that. I think they had the ward bottom in the jungle that saw a couple Team Nigma heroes, so they felt very confident that Weehaw did not have the proper backup to be allowed to play like that. He's kind of bluffing, and if they don't have a ward, they can't call his bluff. But in this case, losing the Aegis immediately, and then, I don't know, that might just be what turns the tides of this game. Dive bomb?
Yeah, Skeeter banking on that crit. He gets it. He knows there's not really going to be punishment. After all, what can Mind Control by himself really do? He could roar if he wants. He'll probably get that roar bounce right back to him. So he can make it.
Worried about all these team fight plays. I'm worried about the dive bomb. I don't know if you're watching that.
Yeah, the Hawks coming in.
Something about that is just, really effed up, man. You're just summoning these beasts to fight for you, and then they just suicide bomb into the opponent team. Like, why does it have to die? You know, can't it just be an attack? Very morbid, I feel like.
I mean, have you played a summons hero, BSJ? I feel like you always throw your various summons to death all the time.
I just feel like you throw them to death as like shields where in theory they have like a 1% chance to live, you know? Like in theory they could live if the opponent doesn't manage to kill them, but this hawk is willingly killing himself. You know, like he's voluntarily doing it, or you're commanding him to do it. He's not really voluntarily doing it. He's given you the skill. He's a hired mercenary where if you pay 1,400 gold, you can just kill him at will. I don't know. That's, if you really think about it, Cap, I have to imagine you're going to be on the same page with me.
I'll keep that in mind. Here comes the dive bomb. Dodge by Fada. Another bird. Kamikaze down.
They have to be really careful. I think that fight's step 2 or 3 for Tundra back in this game. And if Tundra gets the lead, I don't know if Nigma can come back when we're talking about net worth. They've already taken the lane of Rax. They have to win the next fight.
Certainly feels that way. Heaven's Halberd for 9. Interesting pickup. He feels like he doesn't really need any damage items. He can leave that all to Skeeter. Smoke's gonna break. GH leads off of the impale. That actually misses. Fada has a chance to be able to get away, but he's caught by the Spy Carapace. They do have 9 here. Silence up for a second. Oh, they managed to catch him with a Primal Roar. No Lotus, no nothing. He's gonna try and stay alive with a swashbuckle away, but he just can't quite get it in time. A big one fight, but the Skeeter is still big, and he's still in charge, and he's still gonna run down Weehaw, as Weehaw has no hopes of being able to get out of here. Looks like Kuro is gonna be in trouble as well. Wee popping the cheese, going for the TP out. No. That's going to be denied immediately by a bash. Good try, Weehaw, but ultimately it is a resource wasted, and Nigma, they lose that fight, Brian, and it feels like the beginning of the end here for their lineup. They're just running out of gas.
This Void Spear build just does not scale against PA. You have absolutely no survivability against pure physical damage, and he is playing in Shadow Shaman Hex as well as the PA, who's going to soon have an Abyssal Blade. Actually, no, he's going for the Sanjinyosh. He's still got a Basher, though, so if at any point you get blink stunned by the Bash, you're probably just going to get bursted full of 0. And that's not really the recipe for success I think Miracle can have as when it comes to carrying this game. As Weehaw, his hero is also going to fall off pretty hard, because now that PA deals enough damage to threaten you, and you also have the Lotus Orb to prevent, like, it allows Skeeter to commit to the fight without worrying about the static link. Your hero just doesn't serve its purpose anymore. Really shows how itemization can make such a large difference in these games.
Breaking Skeeter here, seeing if they can pop him real quickly. They do manage to get the pullback of the Astral Remnant, but he gets the BKB. Looks to be able to jump away, but they're going to stay on top of him, and that's enough.
Huge kill.
Tundra overstepping themselves. Oh, a Spy Carapace managed to catch Fada. The dive bomb coming in. Fada stunned up for a second. Does manage to get a nice vacuum. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. A 33-9 Wombo combo will take down Nigma. They don't need Skeeter, it seems. Not anymore.
I will say 33, as far as I've seen, is the best Darkseer. This guy's insane on Darkseer. I don't actually understand. Like, this game, you know he must be really good if they're not going to pick him like a natural lane synergy. So his game's going to be less impactful early. But I don't know, man. There's something about that. It has to be like him communicating. It's not that I think his vacuum walls are better than any other Darkseer I've seen. I just feel like every team he's ever on that I've seen when he was on Alliance and all that, that you just see some ridiculous follow-up that he must be communicating, hey, I'm going to be vacuuming right here. You know, just followed up with the Rolling Thunder. And it just seems so flawless and seamless and impressive, to say the least.
He just has that kind of foresight to like ping an area, like bring them here, you know?
Yeah, I've played with a couple of good Darkseers in pubs. Like I remember back in the day with the Universe, and they do ping. Like they do tell you where they intend to land that vacuum, and that's something where that's like the difference between like a tier 1 Darkseer and anyone else really, and it makes a huge difference in late game execution. It's not nearly as important in the grand scheme of like the mid to early game. But that 3-man vacuum into the Rolling Thunder it just demolished. They actually just evaporated with the swashbuckle follow-up. And mid laners, take note of Nine's build here. You don't need damage if you have a PA. I know we already talked about it, but this is such a game-winning build for him. Please. We don't need 2 guys that do a ton of damage. Like, the PA wouldn't be doing damage if he didn't have this Lotus Orb to allow him to go in.
No, as you say, it is a fantastic buildup that allows the PA to jump on somebody. Doesn't have to worry about the roar. Doesn't have to worry about his damage being drained out. And now Tundra up by 2K. Tier 4 items fully locked up. And I mean, I think they're just kind of unchallenged when it comes to team fights. They're going to wait for this next Roshan. Nigma, they're going to have to make something very special happen to be able to win this game. Talking about multiple team fights where they totally outplay Tundra.
For some reason, I thought the Ion Shell Aghanims gave him the damage, but it's just the talent, and it makes it have more duration. I see. Okay. I probably got flamed for that one earlier. I was looking at that.
That's okay. I mean, you got the important points, which is the charges and the increase in.
Yeah, the HP on PA specifically is incredibly effective, as the evasion through the summons and all that kind of stuff, and just to prevent him from getting bursted. It's funny how many of these carries he ends up going for the full abyssal, but as their BKBs are beginning to dwindle around this stage in the game, a lot of them are just queuing up the Sanjin Yasha. It's your only way to have status resistance so that you can reliably BKB, because against a lot of these meta heroes, you kind of have to preemptively BKB, but it feels so bad if you just BKB and then they manage to disengage. So a lot of carries opt to buy that SNY, so it allows them to hold on to their BKB a bit longer, so they don't have to fear getting bursted before you're using it. GH actually has the Cloak of Flames. That's going to allow him to get this Eon Disc a bit sooner, I would imagine. That's a pretty important item for him, as you saw, he can single-handedly bring down like 80% of PA's health if he manages to land that Vendetta hit.
Body rune's up. Power rune is bottom, just an invis, so not one of those big game-changing ones. Neither team really knows that, though. For all they know, it could be a DD and all important. And then, man, that's why Miracle is going for it. He does manage to get off his BKB thanks to the interference from his allies. They control up Skeeter really nicely, slow him down. Looking for those last couple of hits, those wards. Now the coil is all slowing him down, but eventually the BKB fades, and they will manage to bring down Skeeter, but they're still a little bit low. And we've seen how dangerous 9 and 33 can be, but this time around, 33 will not have his day. Mind Control takes him out. Now they're going to be able to hit the Impale onto Fauna. This is the outplay that Nigma needed. 9 going for the TP out. No such luck here, sir. They wipe Tundra, and Tundra, Brian, they don't have buyback on some of their heroes.
Sometimes you just don't push BKB.
Yeah?
Not much else to say. I've been there. On Skeeter's side there, yeah, like I said, you don't want to push it right at the start of the fight like that. It just sucks. But then you get carapaced by your Battle Fury cleave, Vendetta hit, and suddenly you're popping BKB with 300 HP, and you have absolutely no impact on the fight moving forward. And that is, if you remove PA from the picture in terms of damage output, Tundra's lineup is incredibly underwhelming, as Kuroki has the Enchant Ancients talent, and that Gary the Golem is giving them all 15.
Yeah, that's pretty high. That's a very significant increase in HP when you've got a butterfly on this Razor. Look how fast
like 480 health or so that I think he's getting from that.
He's got his level 25 talent, so he is just whipping it.
Gary flexing on the haters. He's not even attacking. He's too good for that.
Yeah. He just rules purely through intimidation. That is his tactic. Nigma, they'll take the 2 lanes of barracks and head back for Roshan. And all of a sudden, they are in a commanding lead again. I thought this is going to be terrible for Miracle, but no BKB comes out from Skeeter, and he just gets chain stunned.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so skeptical of Nigma being able to take this game moving forward. It's so clear that with one missed execution from Skeeter, that this game was easy.
Yeah, I guess so. And now we'll see if Nigma are going to make that missed execution here in the Roshan pit. They will not. They didn't go for Roshan. They knew Tundra was going to be desperate to be able to interfere. Now they've used their Rolling Thunder. And look at this wrap around here coming from GH. They spotted Skeeter. Skeeter, try and chase him down. Around this tier 2, they gonna route it? Yeah, they're gonna go collapse in on them. Try and get the vision, immediately trying to jump on a 9. 9 pops Minotaur Horn, 33 being controlled up. They immediately roll over Biver. The coil going out, snapping on a 3. 33 tries to pull him back into the wall as best as possible, but all important that Skeeter on the side. He jumps on to GH, looking to blow him up, but he couldn't quite get it. Now he's being controlled up by Miracle, silenced, and now the damage is just raining in. He doesn't have a way out of this one. He's dead, no buyback. Nigma, they were on the brink here of losing this game against Tundra, but 2 good fights is all it takes, as now they should be able to run down the rest. 33 just hoping to be able to buy some time, maybe turn around and kill Miracle, but he cannot. He doesn't have the damage, and Tundra doesn't have the heroes, doesn't have the buybacks to be able to hold this game. It's going to be a 2 versus 5 for 60 seconds.
Not exactly what I would call a clean victory for Nigma here, but at the end of the day, after losing 3 series in a row, you're happy to get the W game 1 after it feels like you were pretty heavily in control, but you never know. Maybe we'll see some PA rapier shenanigans, but they've got so much damage with the auras from Beastmaster and Razor. I can't imagine this game continues. They do call the GG, and hey, let's just act like that middle 15 minutes didn't happen and Nigma was smooth sailing.
I have to say, I am like shocked with the way that game was going. I'm looking at this PA and I'm just going, all right. Nigma didn't end the game fast enough. It's PA time. I don't know how a carry Razor can win this, but, you know, I guess it goes to show. And then I think OG showed this a lot at TI8 and TI9, right? It's you got to prepare for those team fights. It's about execution in those
is Tundra, and we're going to find out if Miracle is going to play mid again, if we can see that being a reoccurring theme here in this series. And we're going to also see if Tundra this time can close out the game and not give up a lead that they were about to have. We're joined by Kevin, who is joining us for the draft. Here still with Kyle and T-Gov. And game 2 sees us having Tundra on the Radiant side, Dire side for Team Nigma. And we're in.
Oh, for sure. And, I mean, shout out to 3-3. It's a hell of a performance. A shame that they lost, because that man did almost everything he could to give his team the win. And if I'm a Tundra fan, I'd be probably put my magnifying glass on the man whose face we see in front of us. If this squad is going to demonstrate that they belong at the major, not only do they have to win this series, but I think that Skeeter's going to have to step up, show that he belongs in the same category as a lot of the legendary EU carries that he has to compete against.
In some ways, I feel like their draft was hampered a little bit last game. Like, if they didn't have Enchantress on Nigma side, and I feel like the Darkseer's lane would have gone better, because Enchantress like covered the first couple levels, and then Razor covered the next couple levels, and just gave Darkseer like a below average lane.
Yeah.
It made it harder for them. It's like they kind of, I don't know, like the Darkseer is probably a great hero, but it just kind of felt like they accidentally fell into a bad draft in some ways.
Yeah, Biver did not have a great time either. There were a couple of, I mean, GH was just feeding on him, it felt, for a big portion of that early mid game.
Yeah,
Definitely being hunted.
interesting thing here is, of course, Nigma being second pick again. The only change to the bans was Tundra banning out this Death Prophet, simply because they wanted to push the value of this Void Spirit up into their own first pick, now ignoring the Puck, ignoring the Nyx. And of course, the other ones, Earthshaker and Coddle, were banned out from Nigma. I think I like Tundra's adaptation to his first pick now, because they realize how they need to keep their picks more open, forcing Nigma to not have like the best pick. Like Mind Control getting Beastmaster from Nyx Puck is very strong. Sure, the end of Nigma's draft was kind of topsy-turvy and kind of weird, but the initial kind of 2 picks was very much Nigma favored.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue we only just disliked the Razor for, you know, it's a Razor. We were typically never going to be fans, and it was overall last pick. But the initial 4 was real solid from their side.
Oh, they just go for the Beastmaster again. Okay. But at least this time, Tundra has kind of soft covered with this Grimstroke support. It can still be the mid. Well, because you got the Wave Clear to kill the boars, and you just pick up any carry and you pressure him.
But the vision advantage is still there. I guess if, in theory, you have a carry capable of crushing the Beastmaster in lane with the help of a shield, yes.
Okay, well, the key thing is, like in game 1, they're not going to lose their safe lane tower at some pre-10 minute like they did. They lost complete control of their jungle and had to move pacing.
The trouble is the shield is dispelled by the Necro 3, and Grimstroke is just as susceptible to being ran at by the minions.
You're talking about
it's not as bad, surely. Like Puck has a weaker laning stage as a 5 than Grimstroke. Like, you have to agree with that, correct?
Yes.
Like, they can kill boars easily with Grim, and I think that was one of their issues last game, is that not only could they not stabilize against the Beastmaster wall, but also that both of their supports just ended up being like these squishy guys that were very vulnerable to Orchid.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What about just picking Beastmaster, though? Like, you want to give that up again? This is the best offlaner in Dota 2.
I think for Tundra, they're happy to have Grimstroke in this example, just because they can flex between multiple lanes. And maybe they're not confident going for the Beastmaster straight up, because we're used to seeing 33 having a kind of advantageous matchup, or at least a key purpose for the game, you know? Like the Darkseer was for strong lane pressure. The Baden is to deal with the single target stuns. Like, you don't often sacrifice him in the draft.
They always pick him really late anyway, so
exactly.
it would be weird for them to pick Beast early.
Yeah.
At least change a pattern. They must have a reason.
But I do agree with you, potentially having this, you know, hero into beast, taking it away from the opponent can be very strong. You just need to have the right team to want to try and like execute that strategy. And clearly, as nonchalant as 33 sitting there eating his yogurt.
No, what? It's coffee, and he's eating the milk foam off his cappuccino. I'm just.
How the heck do you get a cappuccino inside of his own house?
You don't have a coffee maker, Kyle, with the milk frother?
Not with the milk frother, no.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Shiva. Don't forget, Shiva is the one that used to have a pony and a horse. And
Dude, a milk frother is not.
We're connecting these panels now. If you watch every panel,
that looks like some luxury tier coffee.
If I wanted milk, I had to go outside at 5 in the morning and milk the family cow. And it wasn't even our
I don't
cow.
think
It was
that's
the
at
neighbor's
5 in
cow.
the
I had to
morning.
steal the milk.
What?
What?
Cows do not like to be milked at 5 in the morning.
Of course you would know that.
Yes.
Is that even true? I'm quite sure they milk the cows here very early.
Yeah, very early, true, but not before the sun has risen.
Why?
I don't believe that.
Cows are
I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
very heavy on the regime that everything is the same the whole time. Means
That's
also
why
they really don't like
every day.
That's also why farmers normally don't adhere to the daylight savings times things, because the cows can't change the rhythm of being milked.
Seconds remaining.
Second phase bans from Nigma, keeping it the same with the Wraith King and the Lycan. There's still one
I don't
opportunity, but
Are you making all of this up?
It could be a small portion, not true.
You're supposed to influence me, Sheaves, not the other way around.
Well, I like that. I can just say that, and everybody instantly believes everything I say. It's very
I
bad.
did not
Build
believe
up
you.
trust with us in the community, Sheaves.
All right, Kevin did not believe me. Sorry, I'll let you continue talking about Dota. We got the PL ban, and then Enchantress again picked up on the side of Nigma.
Yep.
yeah. So again, like I said, Nigma keeping their bans the same with the Wraith King and Lycan. They then push up the PL ban, simply because Tundra tried to play the PA in the previous game, clearly didn't work out, and yeah, they snatch up the Enchantress once again. I think the only key thing here from Tundra is the ban out is Viper, and the reason for that potentially is, guess what? Weeha's playing the side lane. What side lane heroes can he play? Ursa, Void Spirit. Now we've seen Razor, potentially Viper as well. It's just maybe covering the style change from Nigma.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things all go full circle. If I see Weeha start switching to green heroes in the safe lane, I'm gonna be like, how about that? I will say I think that there's a certain luster to having Miracle back on mid.
Seconds remaining.
And that might just be enough of an edge. I think what BSJ was saying during the cast was accurate, where carry just feels like you don't do anything anymore. You just kind of sit in your lane. Eventually, you go to the other lane, take enemy safe lane tower, and farm. Mid, it's playmaking. It's
That's
back.
where the fun's at.
Yeah. And he's still a hell of a player. I mean, first game back, first blood's 9. Should have killed him again, but maybe a 1/10 of a second off the Rolling Thunder.
I mean, Void Spirit also is a hero to really shine on, though.
Here it is.
There it is. There's
So now Nigma, because they are potentially trialing Weeha on the safe lane, they've gone for the flexible core pick where it could be Miracle, it could be Weeha. They don't know. Instant troll pick though from Tundra.
Yep, they saw this coming just like we did.
I'll never
Magic.
forget the Weeha Ursa Game 3 TI6 lower bracket finals versus EG. Defending the base. He kind of goes forward and dies, buys back. His team ends up getting megas thanks to Moo's Rat. And then they defend the base, if not mistaken, with some just crazy... No, it was Misery Kunkka, actually, that just fed and immediately bought back. That was a hell of a game,
Great
by the
story,
way.
Kyle.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah, it
rolling.
really drew everybody's attention.
Yeah. A pro player died. He bought back. And they
He was
fed.
And his team won the game.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a
So we
good
got a
game.
Razor ban out.
History.
Yeah, so it's already passed.
Nigma now going into the final part of bans, they realize there still isn't that kind of position 5 factor from Tundra. They are respecting the flexibility, but still assuming it is just going to be mid lane.
Yeah.
Take away lane securus, because with Troll, if you have Troll plus any boar killing hero, it's a very hard lane for beast. Like Grim Troll, very good.
Do you know what we're about to see?
Is it Visage time? You promised a Visage
No, it's
this
Miracle.
game.
It's Miracle. Okay, you should only need one guess. They
Is
have
it
a Nyx
Invoker?
Assassin. That's right.
Oh, wow.
You got the Nyx Assassin. It's a hell of a game for any sort of Tornado EMP counter initiation. And I'm still a fan of the Exort build, but typically you rotate into it after you start with Quaswex.
Yep, well-
But it's really nice synergy with the Beastmaster Ench as well.
Yep.
Like,
Beastmaster
very
Nyx,
active.
it's pretty much the only combo, other than maybe a couple others, that can really activate a Exort Invoker.
Yep.
So now that we've decided what Nigma's gonna last pick, can we also prepare for that on the side of Tundra? Because if we know it, they certainly have it in their heads as well. I think.
Nigma's not entirely sure. They banned a support and a Venom. Venom would have been an offlane.
Oh, Kevin's favorite hero. Offlane Alchemist.
It's not out. It better not be offlane.
It's offlane Alchemist.
It's
Against an Ursa, it's going to be a bad time. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
It's mid
safe
Grim
from
stroke,
there.
offlane, and Void Spirit. Let's not get too carried away.
Well,
And
who's playing the Alchemist? Well, what is the Alchemist for?
Support Alchemist
Remaining.
is the factory
No, it could
build
just be-
online.
No.
it could just be, it's Grim 5 with like some mid Alch, offlane Void Spirit. So yeah, so Shaman 4, Grim 5, offlane Void Spirit, Troll and Alka flexing between mid and carry.
Wait. Not until the Nigma picks their last hero. Then we'll know their lane.
Okay, that is true.
I gotta fear you here, but
Okay, that's true. That's true. A lot
They
of
could be flexible though.
greed from Tundra, but eventual scaling to disastrous points.
Yeah, so far the Void Spirit has only been played by 9 for their team.
Yeah. I think it's offlane Alchemist.
I still kind of like this
gonna be
Invoker.
it.
I won't lie. I think Invoker's still very strong. It pushes
Yeah,
you into a strong timing of pressure. And of course, it's the same story as game one. It's like, if they don't win early on, but they did execute very well up until that one tier 2 fight where they wasted Aegis and the game got very hard.
And if anyone is worried about the offlane outcomes, it was Team Nigma that tried it before. You know, they believed.
And then nobody picked it since. I don't know why though. Huh?
True.
What could it be?
Oh man, it could be. I think Kevin knows where I'm going with this.
Shadow Fiend.
That's
Or
exactly
Embersphere.
right.
Thank you.
It's possible.
You're straying
You
away
want a
from the Invoker?
BKB, no, Invoker's going to be the pick, but it's possible that they would do something else. You want a BKB viable spellcaster that, in theory, can play around your support too, because they want to be more active.
Also, this is the exact time. Oh, they go Morphling. Okay, nice.
Spellcaster?
It was close.
Very close.
It definitely
He
wasn't
can, he
close.
can do a bunch of extra spells. He can
He can still
take over enemies.
Good stuff. But yeah, so this Morphling, I'd love to see it. Obviously, Miracle, put it into that mid lane. We've seen Morphling into Alk in old times. Morphling would dumps to that matchup because Alk doesn't really apply pressure. Morphling just free farms. And yeah, it just boils down to the fact that they are going to do pretty well. What is it?
Off-lane Alchemist
It actually is 30.
all right.
into the Ursa.
Interesting. Creativity from both sides.
I think it's bad if you're against a matchup that doesn't look so good, but hypothetically, if they can pressure Weehaw out of the lane, then it's not terrible. But otherwise, it just feels like your mid-game impact is weaker than most offlane heroes would be. So that's why I don't have a huge amount of faith in it. But maybe, hey, prove me wrong. I'd love to see somebody use it and find a good reason.
I am slightly worried simply because when you think about Alchemist, he plays off his acid spray, enabling your position forward to start bullying. But then on the flip side, Nigma, if they have an Enchantress, which is one of the best position 5s at dismantling aggression to your carry, because you have that creep that comes in. So I think maybe the concept of Alcohol Flame can work in some games, but I don't see it really having, strong effect in this game. That might open up Morphling to have a good game. So,
All right, final thoughts from Persh for this game?
I mean, Alk can defend towers with acid spray. That part's pretty good. And Nigma's tower pressure, once their summons are dead, is a little bit weak. So I think Nigma's going to take this one almost for sure. I just don't have faith in the Alk yet.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle's on a win condition, right? He's playing Morph. He should have a pretty free matchup. They have Beastmaster next. They're going to have plenty of map control. I think as long as they're not utterly destroyed in the laning phase, they're going to be fine.
Prepare
yeah,
for
I think I just like the adaptation that Nigma's brought to this series, just putting Wii into the safe lane and enabling Miracle for once. And yeah, I want to see it do well.
All right, well, let's see if they will do well or if Tundra will be able to force out that third game of the series. We're heading over to Cap and BSJ for the game.
Listen, I don't like this trend of having to fact-check all of our panel, but I will say that cows are not milked once a day. They're milked 2 to 3 times a day, and that is what determines how early a cow needs to be milked. Milk them later in the evening, they can be milked later in the morning, vice versa.
I feel like I'm learning something right now. So I learned more from you just now than I did listening to that entire draft analysis. I'm kidding. As we go into this game, I'm actually super excited about this offlane out because I know that these European players, they study the NA pubs. And just the other day, I had a rank 300 guy rush Ags for me on offlane out and just beat it to me. I was so far. It felt so good. You get the stats from it now. So not only do you get the Ags upgrade, but you got a Troll Warlord, you got a Void Spear, you got 2 pretty damn good Ag Scepter carriers on your team. So let's ignore that they might be. We can't fight into this Acid Spray, actually.
No.
I was thinking about this. One of the most potent Shadow Shaman combos is Tidehunter right now because of the Gush minus armor. And that is 4 minus armor. And since they realize that's a potent lane duo, why not Acid Spray for the 4 minus armor on the offlane? I don't think Weehaw can actually do what he wants to do in terms of bullying 33 through that damage output. Like, the physical damage alone is so high.
No, I will agree. I think this combo is actually going to be really potent. And it'll be interesting to see that Alk is able to play a lane against one of his classic nemesis in Ursa. I guess things really do change. And
I see nothing.
Yeah, Ursa used to be really powerful level 1, and then they nerfed the crap out of early level Fury swipes. So I think that being the case, Ursa's the same hero against Alk as he always was once you get like level 5-ish. But before then, I think Alk should have no problem getting his foot off the ground here, as Biver is going to block the camps. The panel did talk about how Kuroki could do a really good job of deterring this aggression, but notice how Biver's blocking the small and 33 blocked the large. So they are fully aware of this and doing exactly what they need to do to get off to the start they need top.
Willing to put his body on the line. Fiverr cops a decent amount of damage, but 33.
33?
He's got to be careful here. Start charging up the stun. He'll get it to max out. And now that the Shadow Shaman is here, Weehaw, he's maybe has to just go back to his tower, pop that healing salve out of his backpack and heal up, because that's a lot of damage.
Is that the build on Alchemist? Obviously,
Yes.
33 has probably played this more than I have. I just feel like you don't have enough mana to use these spells. He's already out of mana, minute 40 into the lane.
I believe he's also going to get an early bottle, right? That's what I've seen from the offlane now. Oh, he's actually going to earn.
He's already got the earn components flying out to him. I'm very confused.
Seems brighter with you here,
Is he gonna have to go base? Is he electing to stay here? He has the mango and a sage's mask because a salve on those shadows, no salve on Biver.
Really? Okay. 9. He's got a fairy fire. He's okay. A little bit of close
I feel
call.
like they could have just chilled a bit here in this lane and kept acid spraying it out because Ursa can't fight into you. But instead, that is not what's happening. And now the big camp has spawned due to the death of Biver and 33 being low. Suddenly, this might be a complete disaster top. We'll have to see. I think it only gets worse as the levels for both heroes get accrued.
Oh, an impale from the trees. GH. A surprise opener there manages to get a very big kill. And it makes this top lane look
And he
even worse.
spells
as a
Miracle.
result.
Oh,
33. He's going to have to juke upwards because Weehaw, he's below him. They know where he's at. He's going to TP back to the base. Oh, Brian, this is this feels like one of those things that you've only practiced once or twice, you know? Because I mean, you're right. Them choosing to fight this Ursa has made this lane totally spiral out of control for them now.
yeah, they just had to stick to the discipline of shoving in the lane and blocking the camps. I think that was going to work really well for them. I'm very surprised they differentiated from that game plan because the Alp got like the first 8 CS in lane, and now he's gotten like 0 cents. So I'm not sure what they are trying to make happen that I'm not understanding here.
Hey, 33's back, and just like that, Biver is being immediately pressured. He's probably going to have to leave lane or probably will get killed out of this lane. As once again, we're just left with one man solo against 2. They just continue to cycle heroes in and out from this aggression between Kuro and Miracle.
He is going straight Acceptor though. On 33. Brown Boots Acceptor queued up, so he understands. Troll Warlord Aghanim Scepter is going to be incredibly potent. Maybe the Void Spirit Ags? I'm not sure.
Oh, 9. He was really hoping to dodge that impale. Fortunately, Miracle saw that TP coming in. As he did morph strength just a little bit towards the tail end of that. Managed to keep his regeneration in his bottle, so he's going to be...
Yeah, take notes, guys. If you want to play Morphling, you have to be willing to sit at 1 HP while you're chasing people in order to fully optimize the hero's damage output. That is why I, with my boomer hands, no longer play this hero as Kuroki. Who's killing who here?
Well, it seems
Wait,
like
he's on the
33's not killing either one of them because he split up his spells. I thought he was going to just all in and say, okay, support for support.
That would have been a pretty big kill if they got Kuroki there because he would have gotten 2 earn charges.
Yeah,
But
and he might have
suddenly,
gotten level 4 in time for the bounty runes. Instead, maybe all the bounties are going to go to Nigma here as they're going to battle it out. The Nyx Assassin Beastmasters, the bottom lane.
The positive is they are doing very well for Tundra bottom lane. They are 27-9 to the 14-2 of the Beastmaster. Troll is one of the best lane counters in the game, if not the best, to Beastmaster. The Whirling Axe mischance on all the physical damage, the high armor against the physical damage. 9 actually gets level 6 before Miracle, which is interesting in and of itself due to the fact that he is 0 and 1 while Miracle is the one that got the kill earlier.
Yeah, he's got 10 more CS. Like, he doesn't have that many more denies, but he does have 10 more CS. So I wonder if there was a time where Morphling just missed out on a bit of experience.
Yeah, maybe GH being in the mid lane a couple times just soaked a couple creeps, and that's the difference maker, but
Yeah.
it is peculiar. As they are really trying to pick on 9 here. Weehaw feels perfectly fine top. The problem with what happened top is it allows Kuroki to do whatever he wants. So the fact that Nine just got a kill there is so huge, because I've experienced this playing against the likes of Dubu, where he wins a safe lane and then he just runs at you in every other lane with this Enchantress. So if they can fend off this early aggression, the disaster top lane isn't as nearly as bad as it would be otherwise.
GH, nice little sidestep there. Doesn't hit by the Stroke of Fate nor the Remnant. Still gonna die, but it's gonna cost Nine so much of his time here.
Your
The rest
He
of
has to do
his
this,
serves
Stop.
balance to the whirlwinds of destruction.
Top lane, there is net zero pressure coming out from 33, so there has to be a lot of space being made in the other two lanes. And at least they've kind of just abandoned him and decided we're going to play around our strong cores. As long as they can shut down the momentum of the Beastmaster and the Enchantress early game, then this Alchemist should be able to get Ags at a decent time. But the problem is you are dealing with an absolutely free farm, uncontested Ursa. And that is not...
Thank you.
That is not something you necessarily want to be dealing with like 18 minutes into the game, I'd say, when you get the Battle Fury plus the next item. Does have the treads.
Yeah, where does this Alchemist go? Like, I feel like this Ursa is
Back to the drawing board, Cap. Back to the drawing board. That's where he...
Brian, what happened to all that promise of European?
Nah, he's going to get the Zag Scepter and his teammates are going to carry him.
Oh, okay.
He started leveling the Greevil's Greed. Void Spirit's already sacrificing his own game a little bit, but suddenly he's going to get injected with 4,200 net worth. And Nine's going to be ahead of the track instead of behind it already at that stage. So what's the timer on this Ag Scepter for 33? I'd give it like 16 minutes based on how bad his start is, something like that.
8-minute power runes coming in. Miracle, hoping it's top. It's not. It's bottom. Illusion rune. GH is holding that one for him. GH has been playing with pretty much no experience, as that man's still level 2, and Kuro, who's just barely level 3, goes down again. 9 on a dominating.
But my question, Cap, is if you were reviewing an Overwatch case, and you didn't know the MMRs or names of any of the players, and you saw 33, what would you rule?
Listen, I am a man who is down. Oh, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Oh,
No net.
no net. Oh dear. I would just say I'm down for anything.
What would Judge
all right?
Cap do here?
In NA, we have techies players who you know, techie spammers, I should say, who try and make mid techies work. And you know what? I've won with them before. So, you know, I'm under the no-tail philosophy. Anything can. Just some things don't work very well.
What if you had the full context that this guy 10th picked out? You know, it was the last pick for the team. And then you see top.
The marker is literally in the draft time. You just go immediately to a last pick Alchemist, and you look on the other side.
You got the last pick Alch, and then you show the laning stage, but nothing more. You don't show the acceptors, you just show the laning phase, you know? Could we tilt the court case in a biased manner enough to get him convicted here?
All I'm going to say is that if people really want to get successful reports, they got to be smarter about their reports, man. They got to do what you're talking about.
Not good. Yeah. It's all about the facts you present. You can lie by withholding information, Cap, as Nigma has now elected to pick on the safe lane. Skeeter's already dipped out, though. Miracle could be in some trouble if he gets chain netted.
Well,
Body blocks.
So far, he's been kind of lucky here, and actually picks up a haste rune at the bottom lane. Doesn't get netted whatsoever. Skeeter's just not feeling it, man.
Yeah, he's got to work on those procs. Last game he was playing PA, now he's playing Troll. He's clearly got practice on these proc heroes that rely on getting that little bit of RNG to help secure kills. And Skeeter, he's looking rusty so far.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, poor guy. Let his team down in game 1 with that non-BKB usage, and now non-ensnaring. 33.
Okay, so the real question, Cap, who gets the first axe? Is it Void Spirit or Troll Warlord?
I mean, is the cleanse really that good this game? I feel like the silence is more powerful.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. It's probably the Void Spirit, but you don't usually want the axe before the level 15, right?
Yeah, that would be true. And I would also say I feel like Yule's into Ags is a little bit more natural. Skeeter's looking to be able to run him down here. Wee's already popped his enrage, and he does get stunned up by that ink. And yeah, he hops out of that wards, but he's not going anywhere. Chained down by Skeeter. Biver's probably going to be dying to the boars, and the Necronomicon.
That's a huge kill.
Dire's top tower.
They forced out Roar. They killed this free farming Ursa. Like, he was #1 net worth on Team Nigma. And I've played this matchup.
Dire's top
Ursa
tower
versus
is under
Troll
attack.
sucks. Like, as the game goes on for Ursa. Like, you don't want to be the Ursa. You kind of get forced to run away consistently, as 9 is being hyper aggressive in the top lane, forcing out a TP, but he might have gone a little bit too deep.
Yeah, he's got 5 seconds for that astral step. His remnant's coming up, so it looks okay.
6 space, man. This is actually so much space.
Yeah.
Because you are effectively farming a Void Spirit or a Troll with Grievel's Greed, right? Like, that's effectively what's happening right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, you got to find some way to make a greedy lineup like this work. And Tundra, once again, are going around a strategy of being on Radiant's side and playing for their triangle. And it's working out okay for them. I mean, they're... I don't really know how to read net worth lead, because it's not an alchemist. It's an alchemist game, but it's a 3-position alchemist game. So I don't.
This
even
is
know what that
not an
means.
alchemist game. Synderen would not call this an alchemist game.
But his definition of an alchemist game is a game with an alchemist in it, Brian.
Radiant's top
That,
tower under
Is this
attack.
or is this not a game with an alchemist in it?
That I can't argue that.
Then it's an alchemist game.
But I got nothing. I actually can't argue this. I got nothing. No response from me.
All right,
The
well,
net
the
worth
excitement
isn't
builds.
going on the Alk. So,
Yeah.
you know, the net worth, that, like you said, it's pretty misleading when you think about an alchemist in the game. So it's not a normal alchemist game, even though it's got an alchemist in the game. I think that would be Synderen's professional now. As Bivers, he's got wards for top. If they can manage, yeah, they're going to get this tier 1, it looks like. It's already pretty low. They might have to drop the wards. They're being a bit greedy here, but no vendetta for GH.
And instead, the tower looks like it's going to get denied.
Dire's top tower.
But they may catch the supports on their way out here. They're going to drop the ward and instantly catch the Nyx Assassin. Great use of an Observer ward to be able to spot this, but unfortunately didn't chain the disables well enough.
Oh, I didn't have his Orchid yet. Just got it delivered.
That's rough. Well,
33. He's got the Acceptor. I estimated 16 minutes, but he's way ahead of my schedule. 14 minutes, despite how bad that lane was.
Yeah,
Might
I
be
mean,
getting
he's
killed
been
here,
able to stack up the Ancients constantly, and I feel like Nigma haven't been putting the same kind of pressure that they were in game 1 of invading this triangle and trying to catch this guy. And 33, it's making a break for it right now. Grab that point booster, hand it over to 9.
He's suddenly got 1,500 health. Acceptor Orchid, 4 Void Spirit at 14 minutes. Usually you get to choose between those two, but he's got both.
Yeah, how do you
Did I
even...
mention you get the stats?
They're going to be able to go for the Morphling here, and he's going to be silenced for so long. They've got like 20 seconds of silence between the Grimstroke, 9 having an Orchid, and his double Resonant Pulse silences.
This timing's actually insane. As 33 really not committing to the build. He's actually queuing up treads as opposed to...
Oh, shame.
There you go.
Well, you got to be a hero, right? You can't just literally pass out Aghanim Scepters.
I don't know. If you represent that silence, is the silence and second charge of Resonant Pulse equivalent to an offlaner at this stage in the game?
I mean, as an offlaner, I'm going to say no. I hope not. I hope that's not all I am.
It's been too long since you played in my games, Cap.
That's true.
I feel like in most of my games, I'd rather have a Void Spirit with a free Ags than an actual offlaner.
Aren't you an offlaner too now, Brian?
Exactly.
Fair enough. All right, well, he's going to go Witch's Blade next, or potentially Boots of Travel. We'll see which one he grabs on the side of 9. Meanwhile, I mean, let's talk about Nigma. They got to do something, right? They got to start taking more objectives than just that bottom tower. I feel like we got to take mid tower. We got to start putting some pressure on that triangle. Or are they okay? Is it perfectly fine for them just to passively farm with a Morph Ursa? against this lane.
I'll be honest, I have legit no idea like who wins this game later on, because you've got two cores who heavily benefit from ags and they're going to get them for free, but then you just don't have an offlaner. So you're dealing with two cores that are like their effectiveness is highly accentuated, but then you're like, is it enough to bridge the gap of having only two instead of three? I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I'm in a lose-lose scenario here because if Tundra loses with this, we will only have the 2 games and we'll get 3. But if they
and that
win,
sucks, and the memes will be dead. Yes.
But if we win, Owen is going to be playing a lot more of his Factory Alchemist. That is not good for me either. So.
Yeah, that seems like a real quality of life, like negative EV play there for you. I don't know.
Good pick off by Weehaw here in this bottom lane as we do have full control of this area. Now it looks like we are going to have a move from Mind Control towards that mid tower. As, hey, Biver, guess what, buddy? The whole zoo's coming.
I like
for
the
you.
words. I like this. He's going to kill some summons.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that gold. Those summons are worth more than he is.
Yeah, he got 300 gold. They got 280. Totally worth it.
Tower defended.
Uh-oh, JJ, you got to update your thing. The Serpent Wards killed the minions, therefore they didn't go on the board.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Netherland now for our Shadow Shaman. Thank you, JJ.
Skeeter's going to have Ag Scepter Sanjanyasha timing pretty soon here, as 33 is, like you said, the Factory Alchemist. I like that term. It seems... It's like a euphemism, you know? It sounds way better than it actually is.
Mind Control, he sees him with the Hawk, so he's going to have the opening once again. Biver is going to die pretty quickly. No spells being cast around, but not enough of an opening for Nigma to fully take that tier 1 tower that's not blocking their way right now.
The panel did mention Alk's really good at defending this mid tower.
Yeah.
And so far, they've done a really good job of this, as now they've kind of traded places with Skeeter, the one that's farming up a storm, elects to actually go for a BKB rather than the full Sanjanyasha. E-Blade done a miracle. Maybe that was what triggered him to do so. Even if you are able to dispel it with your whirling axes, that's still
that's a big opening.
Damage.
That's a big opening and almost enough to kill him, but not quite. Shotgun combination.
That Ag Scepter raw HP.
Yeah.
Last patch, he would have died there.
That is true. Yeah, Void Spirit is normally rather squishy. You catch him with 1 disable, very likely he's dead, but with an early Aghanim himself, this, man.
He's also got the Nether Shawl, so even more effective HP against that Morphling Burst. As the Ursa Beastmaster, yes, it's a lot of physical. It seems like that -3 armor might be a bit dangerous for him, but the burst damage he's experiencing is mostly going to be the Morphling and the Nyx pure damage from Vendetta. So as long as he doesn't get caught by Roar, which is probably means he's going to die anyway, then this Nether Shawl will make his survivability against these pickoffs drastically higher. It's pretty much saving his life there, I think.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, they're just going to go for a Roshan straight up.
Yeah, they see Beastmaster bottom. You can either elect to shut down that pressure or just take an objective of your own, and the Acid Spray minus armor.
I mean, the sad part is it looks like Nigma are going to try and put a stop to this Roshan, but they are way too slow to get here, so they effectively do neither. He doesn't get to take that tier 2 bottom or anything. It looks like he's going to try and poke at the mid tower just a bit with some... But otherwise, that was totally free Roshan for Tundra. And now, maybe an opening here. They're going to try and blow up 33 real quickly, and they do manage to do so. And Rage is going to be popped here as they try and back away, but the Soulbind catching the 2 of them together. Double silence up as well. 9 laying out some good amount of damage, with 33 coming in with a buyback with a minus armor. It might just be enough, and yes, Miracle does die. Weehaw, though, pumping it out with the BKB. Goes for Skeeter first. Claims him. Fada's up next. 1 swipe should do the trick. Biver given an extra bit of movement speed by the Inkswell is going to allow him to get away from the Ursa, but 9, he is being hunted right now and is out of Astral Steps. Gets up to the high ground. They no longer want to chase him, though. They just want to take this mid tower.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Okay, that was pretty important fight for Nigma there. This Aegis for Void Spirit could have been a pretty serious momentum shift in Tundra's favor, but now he does have to be wary of the Nyx assassin on the map since he doesn't have that second life, but he sees him and misses the remnant though. And instantly TPs. Is it soon enough though? Not even close. He had that calculated.
Was
Look at Kuroki
right there.
holding the. There was 9 creeps top, and he was just holding the creep wave outside of tower range until Miracle respawned.
That's a G.
Wow. I wish I had a Kuroki.
Yeah, we all wish we had life, but sadly, there's only one, Brian.
In the future, that might not be a limitation we had.
You know, Brian, you ever think you could have made it pro if you just had a clone of 4 more of you? And you just made
Not
it
4 more of me, but if I had like a puppy and a Kuroki and maybe like a Zai and, you know, like a Nisha, I think I could probably take it. I don't think I'm too heavy. I'd probably make like 5th place of the major or something.
Yeah. Just
Give me like Razor safe lane and I'll just won't feed.
Okay. Already one step ahead. All right, I can make that joke because they won that game. I can make that joke because they won the game. I love Weehaw.
I was baiting you in Twitch chat on that one. That one was like so low hanging that there's just no way you.
Yeah, it was pretty much already in my not pluck. 8-13, 22 minutes in. A very even net worth game, but as Brian was kind of alluding to earlier, we're not really sure what that means with the 3 alchemists. Is that bad for Tundra because they have an alchemist on their team and even net worth is usually bad for that? Is it fine because he's giving away these Aghanim scepters? Is Skeeter, well, it's going to be real bad if he gets caught here before his BKB is picked up. Fortunately, he had the game read to back up just in time. Fada with his one-man smoke stroke of fate play. Kills 1 creep wave before he has...
I always see those situations in pro matches and I'm like, does he realize he was half a second from just dying right there? Like, does he realize it? I know he knows he had to get out, but are they at all fully aware of how close that actually was? I don't know.
I would have to guess. No, nobody should be leaving it to that close.
Yeah, I have to imagine, and the awareness is there, but you don't intend to be that close. As 33, as the factory, it's producing. He's got another Ag Scepter.
Pumping out the second Aghanim Scepter, but maybe it's a tad too late here as the initiation is already out in the mid lane. Fada with his BKB has killed 1, but it wasn't really that big. Skeeter is immediately going to be E-bladed up as he tries to pop his ultimate. The Void Spear turned around by Miracle is going to be able to kill Skeeter. Very nicely played by Miracle, granting them the double kill. And now maybe even a little bit more as they're going to dive on into this. 33 trying to crawl back slowly but surely, but a Primal Roar will stop him in his tracks. A triple kill from Miracle as they look to take down this tier 2.
That Ag Scepter from 33, if it had been like 10 seconds sooner, that E-Blade on the troll during his ultimate would have been dispelled and Miracle might have died. So that was really close and really well played by Nigma to capitalize on beating the offlane Alchemist second Ag Scepter timing. I'm sure they were going for it.
Yeah, they seem to know it like clockwork, like the back of their hand. I mean, to be fair,
I will say they did play offlane Alch, I think.
Yeah.
On the DPC.
They absolutely did, and I'm sure they played it in some scrims before that. So I'm sure they're well aware of what kind of timings they're looking at here. As Tundra are going to start pushing out as they pick off at bottom lane by Miracle. He's not here in this fight. Tundra, they got to get something done here, but it's taking so long just to kill Kuro of all people. Skeeter, he's going to go ahead and cleanse off that slow from the Necronomicon. He's going to start running down my control, but Miracle is now back into play after getting that kill bottom lane. He's here and he's hoping to be able to get a kill onto 9. Jump away, TP out, 9, but we are almost there for Tundra, it feels like. We're just about to get that BKB on the troll with his Aghanim Scepter. I feel like at that point, BSJ, they have to start winning fights.
My waters rise.
Yeah, I think I want to take a screenshot of this net worth distribution.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, man. The team that's losing has the 2 highest net worths and an offlaner that's bottom.
I just want to say, like, I feel like this is a bit disrespectful to 33 skills as a player.
Radiant's top tower.
Like, this guy is amazing, but like, I could do this job of hitting creeps and pumping out Aghanim scepters for
Trust
other
me, if you need somebody to feed in lane and then farm all game, I'm your man. Dude, I'm down.
Like, yeah, BSJ, he's ready to go. BKB gonna be bought by Skeeter. Hex goes out. Double shackles. What a big hit. Nigma definitely overstepping their bounds in this fight as 9 gets himself stuck onto the cliff. A little bit of RTZ cosplay, but it's fine. Skeeter will hand it for you, or maybe he won't.
He's not gonna live, is he? Oh, no.
He's gonna get away because 9 was not able to help out with that fight. Oh, dear.
After all that, they get a Nyx. That looked so good.
Yeah, that soulbind into double shackles. It was beautiful. And then where did 9 go? He just astral stepped himself straight up there. A one-way ticket up.
Yeah, when Ursa, Troll, Morphling, these heroes, you just have to commit 100% of your damage onto them. Make sure they do not live with a sliver, because if Troll gets his ulti off, Ursa gets his ulti off, Morphling gets that attribute shift, suddenly this target that is 100 HP is just going to live. Then they just get a free kill on the Grimstroke. Map control seems like it's still in favor of Nigma, as that's the 10-second BKB timing for Skeeter. That's a pretty important timing for him to hit. And
all right,
they're actually going for the Ag Shard now on 33.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's time to diversify our production. We're going to start pumping out some Berserk potions for people, which that is very good for a troll, no doubt.
What's the cooldown on it? Like 30 seconds?
Can't say that I know. Doesn't actually say on the skills.
Gotta love the beta tooltips here. They smoke up. Do they see it with the Hawk? They do. Nigma is fully aware of what's going on here.
They'll just
They scan to see what direction they're coming from, or maybe that's a Radiant scan.
That is a Radiant
That was
scan.
a
They're
dire
checking to
scan.
see if they're up there on the triangle. 35-second.
I actually think that was a dire scan based on the cooldowns. It looks like they wanted to know if they're getting wrapped on from behind or from
Oh, you're right.
Weon knows they're here because of that scan.
33.
Scan.
Oh, they're going to be blocked in by the wards. That's actually a really nice play from Biver. That slows down Weehaw entirely. And the shotgun going off. 9 looking to be able to execute somebody on the back line here. He's going to be able to get a nice double astral step. And
There's no
Kate Ward
BKB on
mashed
Ursa.
up here. Double silence is going out. Meanwhile, Miracle is just doing work right now. Skeeter, he just destroyed them. I thought there was no way the Miracle could just dive in while the rest of his team was focusing on 9, but I guess I'm totally wrong about that, because 33, to be honest, he's not really much of a factor because he's given away 9,000 net worth.
Yep. He's actually bought the Ogre Axe. Was that a mistake? Was he trying to just buy an item before he died and he thought he had the Ag Shard gold? That might have been what happened there, as he just has a random Ogre Axe now.
Structures are fortified.
Huh.
Well, I gotta say,
Well, I would say this is not what I would deem a normal Alchemist game, as I really wish I was casting this one with Cinder, no offense, Cap, because I'd love to hear what you call this game.
9 can't commit. Would have been a big ink swell, but everybody was still pretty healthy. So Tundra, yikes. This is, I just have not seen a success. I was expecting some big timing, you know, with the Aghanim Scepter and the Void Spirit. I was like, okay, he did some work with that, felt all right. And then I was thinking, okay, BKB Ags on Troll. This is where the vision all comes together and we have this big swing of momentum and Tundra look really strong in fights, but they just don't.
They have a lot of like anti-heroes on Nigma though. That's the problem. You put all your net worth on the 2 guys and you're against Ursa, Beastmaster, Nyx Assassin, Morphling with an E-Blade. It's really hard for 2 cores to carry this game when they're the only ones with any semblance of net worth. Because at this point, Nigma can kind of just ignore everyone else. And that is a factor in how much impact carries will have later on in the game. If you feel like you can just ignore the offlaner, for instance, like you don't have to go on that offlane Tide or Mars because you're scared of the team fight. This Alchemist is those Ag Scepters. So by going on the Troll and going on the Void Spear, you're effectively initiating on 2 targets at once.
Look at we moment that Roshan was done, immediately TP to the other side of the map. Kind of waited for his team just a little bit, just a few seconds for them to kind of start sweeping across to the bottom lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Tundra does manage to retreat pretty quickly, but they still caught 1 hero.
Miracle's denying creeps with his illusions thought. 33 just wants his Aghanim shard. Let the factory pump it out. Come on now.
I mean, he's looking
Miracle,
at
stop being a
another
fun hater,
Aghanim
man.
scepter too, but like, is a Grimstroke Ags really going to change this game?
No, it's his own Ags so that he gets 75 damage and 9% spell amp or whatever it is.
Well, a little bit of anti-synergy there, but it'll still be enough to get the kill. 33 should die, though. They are going to get a really nice bit of opening damage here onto Miracle, but never mind. Skeeter, just
SNY done.
Just doesn't pop his BKB and he's dead.
tower is under attack.
Huh.
It's so hard to play carry against Nyx Assassin, Shadow Shaman, man. You don't pop your BKB, they land that instant disable with the Carapace or the Hex, and then you just die full to 0 and you look like a dumbass. And Skeeter, his struggles are really resonating with me in this series.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top
Well,
barracks are under attack.
I have to say, this was a very disappointing end to this game. Because,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
you know, people keep on picking this offlane Alchemist, and I don't know any better. I'm a lowly play-by-play cast. I'm expecting to do something. Maybe this is the play. Right next to the tier 4s. Maybe they can actually win a fight here with the Soulbind still out. Miracle somehow still alive. Morphing into strength. He's turning around and beating down 33 because he has no items. For God's sakes, Miracle, leave him be. He's given everything he has to everybody else in the game. Just let him play a little bit. Let him use his
33,
heal
you weren't
spell.
supposed to buy back here,
Oh
man. Now
my
you're
God,
lowest net worth
Peter's
in the
not going to
game.
use his BKB again. Oh dear, GG. Tundra, man, I thought they had that game won. And, you know, it's just a little bit of misplays. They lose control of that game, but okay. Redemption in game 2. They opt for the off-lane Alchemist strategy, which I've yet to see be successful. But, you know, you were going for it. I thought maybe it would work out. No, it just didn't. It didn't do anything, BSJ.
Yeah, when you dump all your net worth on 1 or 2 cores, that first Aegis timing